about me, I run a laboratory which is called How to Life Europe. I opened this laboratory 2004 together with Dr. Masaru Emoto. He's world famous for many people interested in.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I studied
Yeah,
this.
that was a very interesting one.
And or at least not conventional science. He got famous with the book
It's all about frequency.
It's a good one.
A book which is published
And your
in
emotions
almost
have
50
frequency.
languages, as Harry Potter in so many languages. And this book is also sold, not as many as Harry Potter for sure, but also millions, many copies. And
Snopes said this guy's false news, which means it's true.
That's true.
Snopes says it's false news, which means it's true.
Presentation, I will show you the work I've done for Bubble. One is the water testing. Our body consists of about 70% of water, and we see that water reacts very strong on external influences and also mobile phones, but many other things. And we conducted the testing. And the other testing we did, I will show a little later in 5 minutes. It's about the heart rate variability. So the first testing we did is with water crystals. Everybody who doesn't know Emoto can Google him, will find a lot of information about him. And he claimed that water reacts on external information, and the more beautiful the picture, the better you can stay for us humans or for the surrounding. So this is a water crystal you see here. It's like a snowflake. It's 0.3 millimeters in size, very little. And the experiment actually is quite simple. We put on the petri dish water and we freeze it, and on an uplight, a bright field microscope, 200 times magnification, we examine the water, and on the very peak of the water, of this little ice cube, we see the structure of the water. And this is how good water should look like. These are water samples from all around the world. I'm not going so much in detail in that.
I personally know one of these scientists that did that in the 70s. It's true.
Spain,
Very beautifully, yes.
Native Indians from North America. And what Emoto got famous is that he showed that every culture around the world has holy water, sacred water, special water which is good for our health. And many times they're not even chemically so special. So for many people it's completely nonsense. They say just water is H2O and nothing else. But now we know from many famous scientists in Russia, also in the United States, like Gerald Pollack and different people, that water is much more than just H2O and the content. Our body is mainly water. And you see that's a beautiful spring of Austria. That's a wonderful spring here also in Europe. And not good water looks not very nice under the microscope. Stressed type water and so on. So we conduct a lot of experiments. I just want to show you very briefly that you can increase the water quality. For example, when you put a vortex in the water, there was a very famous Austrian engineer. He showed that when you steer the water or you use special substances, what for example I know Bubble also has inside special substances, it can improve the water. And we just see here a vortex application, and the water changes beautifully. With sound you can change the structure. This is a study I conducted in Russia with the St. Petersburg University. Water reacts on sound. This is amazing. The cluster, the H2O molecules, when it gets coherent to an external frequency, if it's electromagnetic or physics or different influences, it reacts. And that's the interesting thing. This is of course very strange for many people, but that's what we observe under the microscope. And Emoto got famous with that. And I was very fortunate that I could travel with him 10 years in almost all countries around this beautiful planet and show the work. And yeah, and with mobile phone, we did of course also testing. We tested many different devices already the last at least 10 years regarding mobile phones. And so far I can say, not to please your mail, but it's like it is, we got the best results with Bubble. That's also why I can say I stand for this here. We tested this device and we wanted to see how does the water react. So we took chemical purified water and we put a mobile phone, we gave the information, we sent it, and we see this is a frozen crystal without any, let's say, positive information. Because the problem with electromagnetic waves is that it's a pulsed wave, and pulsed wave normally pulse mean always repetitive waves. They can change the structure, not harmonically. So this is how the water looked before, and when we put the bubble on it, we got harmonic structures. Chemically it didn't change, or at least we couldn't we couldn't show it, or we didn't show it. We showed just the structure. So these are the crystals with the bubble. We did the same with the cocoon. It has the same technology inside, I think at least. We didn't open all the details, but I could imagine. And we did a little different. We didn't, in the mobile phone case, we put it 10 minutes on the water, and in the cocoon we did it 24 hours. So we let the wireless LAN run for 24 hours. We put a water sample next to the router, and we made water crystals, and that's how it looked with the cocoon. So we got really beautiful results. So
that's what it does to the water inside your body.
The cocoon after I got it, because it's in my house with my kids, so that's nice. So it's nice when I can do this test. So the other thing that we did is heart rate variability study. Everybody who does not know about heart rate variability, I always emphasize, please check heart rate variability, because that's so important for your health. Everybody should learn about heart rate variability. There are many devices on the market, and we produce our own heart rate variability device, and we conduct many studies recently regarding heart rate variability. The heart rate variability is, for people who don't know it, it shows the variation of one heartbeat to the next. And it's not a new knowledge, it's actually knowledge which is quite old. So in old China, you can examine it very accurate. It's part of the autonomic, it's actually governed by the autonomic nervous system, sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, and we can very accurate measure many different parameters. And the HRV historically is known since almost 2,000 years, so it's not something new, but in our medicine it entered first actually in the last century, or in the 60s, it really started to get used. But even though many practitioners, many doctors don't know about heart rate variability, or they haven't learned about it, but it gets more and more popular, because we can beautifully see how external or internal influences influence our autonomic nervous system and our healing capacity. So a good heart rate variability is the main premise, you can say, to stay healthy. So please, everybody listening to this, Google heart rate variability and make sure you have a good variability. And the problem is, there are today 23,000 or more studies regarding heart rate variability. So it's nothing, let's say, unknown or not as accepted as, let's say, the water crystals, which are, of course, water is not so important. But I like both. I think both is important. But the heart rate variability, that's there are thousands of studies, and it's approved.
What? You talking about a hairdo, man?
Said you look like the guy with the hat.
Kind of favor. I think
the
there's
guy that held
we distinguish
Wayne. His name's
sympathetic
Wayne.
nervous system. And the sympathetic nervous system, that's typically for our societies. Stress, thinking, short carbohydrates, blood pressure problems, all kinds of things. And we know that the electromagnetic waves, frequency 4G, 5G, wireless LAN, has an impact, especially on the sympathetic nervous system. We get more stressed. And this is really a problem nowadays, as we know the biggest cause in our Western society of death are heart-related symptoms, like heart attack or blood circulation problems. So this is really a very hot topic in our society. Okay, heart rate variability applied in many areas today, so it's not unknown. Important is, of course, that you measure it very accurately, because you can also measure it by a phone or watch, but this is very inaccurate. But if you have a good system, you can very precisely determine how healthy the person is and how the person reacts on different influences. And that's what we did. So we took the bubble, we made a study over a year. It was quite a huge study. We tested 50 people from 4 years to 72 years old, so almost all ages, female, male, of course. And we made a double-blind test. So we used two bubbles. One was we call it a dummy, which even the person who tested, double-blind means that neither the person who got tested nor the person who applies it. So the person who put the bubble on let's call it the guinea pig, did not even know if it was an active bubble or it was just a dummy. And so it was a double-blind test. And it was even more double-blind test because the person who examined the data afterwards also didn't know, was it the dummy or was it the bubble itself? Because that's very important, because then you really can not benefit towards one or the other result. That's very important to be very, how to say, precise. So we tested this 50 people, and these are the results. We tested many HRV parameters, and the interesting thing is and it was very positive towards the bubble. You see here the red one is the bubble here. And interesting is that the short-term parameters like the SD1 or the RMMSD, the root mean square of successive deviation. This is more for people who know very much about heart rate variability. So very important parameters which show the short time influence. And if you have a mobile phone, 5 minutes at your ear, or a stream 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something, that's actually, we could show beautifully that there is an effect and that we can have positive influence towards the people. So that's towards and we did not distinguish if male or female reacted more, or children or old people. This we didn't do. Of course, we could conduct the studies, and that's of course important, especially for children. We know children are very susceptible for electromagnetic stress. Everybody should be healthy, but they should get kids and make sure that our society stays healthy. And we know nowadays, I have 5 children. They love mobile phones. You cannot take the mobile phones away from kids. At least not from my kids. They want to have their phone. And all of them, of course, needs, how to say, the protection. So it's very important that we work on this topic, and I'm very happy that Centropix is very aware about this topic. So this is the study we did. We did, of course, also very scientific. We made a binomial distribution test of the frequencies. This is more for, let's say, the scientists among us, and to see, does it have a significant difference or not? And the amazing thing, which really surprised me, because I've tested several different devices over the years, that we got for so many parameters, and especially the short time parameters, we got a significant difference. So this was quite amazing, I must say. I have to confess. Okay, so these are the tests. So to make a sum up, so the water testing showed nice results, which you can say is maybe not so the scientific approach, because we look on the beauty, on the structure of the water, which is not accepted in general terms. Anyway, worldwide, we see that people are very much aware about that there are other approaches than just numbers. This here are numbers. We could show scientifically with statistic approaches that there is a difference, but with the water crystals, it was nice to see that also the beauty, the structure, you can say that the water can get coherent with positive effects from outside. So we have made 2 different approaches, and we're very happy with that. And yeah, so let's see, my computer is not reacting. Okay, so this is a very short presentation. I hope you could see all the slides. And for further information, if you're interested in what we are doing, you see here Aqua Quinta, that's my main work today. That's the heart rate variability research, the different application we do. We translate the heart frequency into sound and light, and an application used in 27 countries. And How to Life is the company, or let's say the laboratory conducting these experiments with water. So I hope you saw also.
Everything was perfect. We enjoyed all your slides and your explanations. Okay. And Rasmus, again, thank you for doing a break in the middle of your vacation. I mean,
well, you saw I got a lot of sun. I was kite surfing all day yesterday, so my partner said, you cannot make a presentation with this. I'm very sorry, but that's summer, and this is how it should be.
Now I know that you do kiting. We have to do that once together, huh?
Wonderful. I love this.
I highly appreciate it. Thank you, and thank you for your great work here.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good time. Thank you.
All right, that was a very, very interesting first step of science. But there is a little bit more, and there is a beautiful lady over here in Switzerland. She is the president of GDV International. And of course, she's highly educated, as you can imagine. And her name is Elizabeth Dornberger. And I do appreciate her also as a human being, because first time she came here into the office and I opened up the door, I just saw a huge smiling, that first impact that is so important, at least for me. and she did an outstanding job and would love to present them to you. Elizabeth, thank you for joining us, and we are more than looking forward to what you have to say. And don't think about your English, it's outstanding.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Hello, this is nice. It's so nice to meet you, and it's an honor for me to be with you here. And I want to talk about GDV. So it means this is my profession in this time, and GDV means for me everything. So.
Yeah, saving is always good, right?
So now I have it. I think my presentation is not yet there. Okay. Strange.
Take your time.
She's a pediatrician, did it say?
Meanwhile,
She's a pediatrician.
I could go into the
I
think she's a she's a
right?
like a nurse
Can
physician.
people with pacemakers use
Pediatrics.
products?
Okay.
If so, do they have any complications? No, not at all. We do have in our user manual, let's say, a liability exclusion, and for the bubble there are pacemakers in. But that's about liability. So, can the cord of the bubble be changed? Yeah, at least when you mean the necklace or the charging cord. I'm not so sure about. If it is the charging cord, yes. If it is the same like USB to USB-C, you can change that. If you mean the necklace, yes, you can change it. That's not a problem. You also could wear a metal, silver, or a gold chain, but you need to break the circle of metal. A galvanic kind of break. How you could do that? You could place a little rubber or plastic ring between the two things where you close. I don't know the English word, but you need to break the chain of metal. That's important. Let's take a look. Can you wear it in the shower? No, please not. It's kind of water resistant, but not waterproof. Okay. So that's all the questions we have so far. That means we have done a good job. What's the impact on COVID-19? Oh, yeah, that's, Dr. Gruber was talking about resilience. What is that? It is the power your body has to fight against impacts from outside. We are a wellness and fitness company, so we cannot do any kind of claims. But I would guess, yeah, your body will be stronger. That's for sure.
Can you repeat your answer concerning the pacemakers?
The pacemakers? Oh yeah, I can, of course. In our user manual for the bubble, we have a liability exclusion. That means we have written there out of liability reasons that it's on your own risk to wear it. Elizabeth, are you ready with your PowerPoint? Everything good?
I hope so. I hope so.
You cannot find it anymore, or what?
No, it will be
Oh, good.
here.
Okay,
So
perfect.
I think so.
All right. So, Elizabeth Dornbirn.
From the beginning, sorry. So every time I have a little bit of fight with my presentation. So we make the invisible visible. This is one of our very important issue. And we will talk about light in my presentation, because light is life, and without light there is no life. And we are measuring life energy in the ultraviolet range by using finger scans with plasma scans in this sense. When I met Professor Korotkov, he is the very good specialist in this field. When I met him in Munich 22 years ago, I knew immediately this is the method he is presenting, this is what I want to do, and This is the future, to see the balance in the energy field or the disbalance also. Plasma is visible only in the lightnings and in the museum, in technical museums, and it is used in different fields technologically. Plasma screens and HiFi plasma tweezers, and the stars are made of plasma, of course. And on Earth, we have the northern lights and lightnings. Plasma is not stable at all. This is the principle of measuring fingertips. There is an electromagnetic.
This is for the flatulence that we were
You
talking
have
about.
transparent
Thank you.
Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
There you put the finger,
Is
and
that the
there is also this
back of that
discharge
thing?
coming out.
Right.
And
It's just a gas
with the
discharge.
video camera, you
Whatever
can
that
pick up
Or it's been repiped.
the process of this discharge. And
Ooh.
then the video converter will bring the data to your computer, and you have immediately the analyzing by a professional software. But why are we taking the fingers? They are easy in access, relatively clean body part, and well supplied with
I'm
blood.
glad he qualified
and
that.
numerous sweat glands are in the fingers. This is important for the stress measurements and the stress interpretation.
Why that picture
And
is
we
next.
have plenty of room in the brain for the hands and for the fingers. This is half of the brain here in this picture, and so you have the double of it in the whole brain. It's a big part for the
That's
hands.
interesting.
This is my finger during discharge. This is without editing, and you see it's a wonderful plasma light coming out in the ultraviolet range. Then we have so-called raw data with many, many devices, measuring devices. You don't have raw data, but we have them. We have pictures. Pictures are then converted into colors and divided into sectors. These sectors are for everybody the same. We can scan all the fingers to see all the details of the person. It's taken in 2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. And then we have here a table of Professor Korotkov's sector analysis. And you can see in detail, and with the thumb here, the sectors, which are the eyes, the nose, and everything you can see. And in principle, this is TCM in the background, and Suchok, the Korean hand acupuncture. And you can compare it a little bit with the food reflex sectors. There probably you know it already. Then you have this fully analysis by the computer software and different screens. I put it together here on one screen. Then you can see weak points. They are made visible. In this case, you have energy deficiency in the back. And you can imagine stress, tension, pain, depression. This takes away life energy. So you have a lot of truth in the whole energy field. In the first line here, you have a healthy person, and you see the rings around the finger are closed and strong. This person is really healthy. And on the other line, you have open rings. This means this person is not well protected. This could be the stress of electrosmog or other things. Then we made different tests with persons with test objects in the bubble. We had a significant difference. You see it in the picture, this gap in the energy field, and this was without the bubble. And then after 2 hours, the gap is closed. So the protection is very, very, very well recovered. And also the energy from 36 joules to 41, it's a big difference in only 2 hours. Then we made analyzing the chakra. This is only an example. The balance was only 82%, and this was without bubble. And after 5 hours, you see 94%. This is really also a wonderful difference. Then we tested 5 testing subjects with different series. We started without bubble. The stress test was, the green line is the middle, the mean line. It means the green line shows the mean of all the measurements from these 5 persons. And you see the stress has decreased. It means the person is more relaxed, and also the brain can work easier and decisions can be made better and clearer. Then the energy was higher, it was going up, so it means also there is an effect after 2 hours. You see the mean line is going up. And then the test study with the stress, this was stress, then the energy reserve. Reserve is very, very important to see how much reserve you have in your life, in your thoughts, in your whole light energy. And there is also an increasing of energy in the reserve, and this is the remaining energy in your body. Then we had the task from Centropix to test cocoon, and this was very interesting because we didn't it with person, we did it with a special room sensor called Sputnik. So we connected BioWell with the Sputnik sensor and measured different situations. We started with 1 second distance between the measurements, so you have a lot of measurement results in the end. And then we went to 5 second distance between the measurements, and we had the task to test fake cards and real cards. And we tested, of course, also the empty room and the room only with the device activated without cards. Then, in principle, we had these 10 Verum cards and 10 placebo cards, and we had a big difference in the standard deviation. And when we put all the measurements in one box here, the placebo and the Verum in the other one, you have a significant difference. Even with the other measurement difference, we had significance in every part. Then I show you different cards. These are only examples. With eye frequency, you see the placebo is the red one in every measurement here, and the Verum is the green one. And we made 4 series for every card. So you have a big database to compare. And we had, of course, higher energy with the Verum card than with the placebo. But we had some reaction with the placebo card. And this was not a person. With a person, you always see this placebo effect. But in the room, this was really unusual for us. Then I asked my team in St. Petersburg, and they told me if the card has real gold on it, then also the placebo card should have a reaction. And this was in end the result, and this was the solution we found out.
So just the gold, not just
so
the
this
frequency
is now
embedded in it,
measurement
made a difference.
Concentration card with the empty space without any device, then with the cocoon device, violet here, and then with the placebo red,
This kind of
and
loses me a
Verum
little bit.
green. So you see the green card, the Währung has in every measurement the highest energy. In this case, P frequency, E smoke, then food,
Well.
I was just wondering if we could buy those.
and animal also.
And also anything to
and
test the
sport
water.
and fitness. This
We need a
has
microscope
the
to
highest
test the water.
activation we found out in our measurement. So I hope I could
Can you
show
send me
you
that, please?
good results and help you to decide to use really these wonderful devices. Okay, I can give back to Nick now.
Yeah, Elizabeth, thank you. Awesome, outstanding results.
I thought that was
And,
amazing.
Thank you for all that great
We just
job.
need to buy
and,
those devices
just-
so we can prove it to people.
Yeah, we're gonna continue our work together,
It's a
right?
little
Thank
different
you,
than
thank
most
you.
people use,
Yeah.
so that's outside the
For
norm.
sure.
Right.
I will
That's
know
true.
it. I will know
No,
it.
I believe frequencies.
Thank
Oh,
you.
So
Thank you.
that's
completely.
another kick in the
Let me
ass.
verify some questions.
I'm
that
completely
came
in.
up here
I
in
studied
the
this stuff for
chat.
years.
Yeah, I believe it's
lengths
correct.
or the measurements of the chains and so on. So, fellas,
Thank
we
you.
should wear the bubble directly over the sternum, solar plexus area.
Solar plexus.
However, it's exactly here.
I'm looking for a
That part
discharge
where the
You
end
should go
part
with-
is,
You need a
can
little
say,
longer
right?
cord
The end
to
part
get it
of
over your
our-
solar
I don't know
plexus.
how this bone calls in English, but here the
It's too
bubble
high.
should
How the
sit.
solar plexus
Not
is
above
here.
the heart. I mean,
It's
that's
here.
difficult, right? You have to glue it,
Yeah.
kind of.
Why'd you say that?
Here.
Okay, so I hope that's
Isn't that kind
verified,
of
and that
what it is?
actually is one reason
Get me to find
why we
it.
have
Almost.
one of those
It has
leather
to be
straps
just
inside
under the
without
sternum
any
right
So you
straps.
can't put it in your pocket.
So that you
So,
just
you have to.
Yeah, I
do
guess
the
so.
measure,
You better find a
measurements, the
discharge
right
device, you can
measurements
measure it
for
on
you.
people.